members. We have a technical quorum. It's about time to make a start. Item number 1, confirmation of the minutes of the 29th meeting held on June 19. The minutes have been made available. Can I take them as confirmed? Nothing on the matters arising. Business arising from previous council meetings. Legal Service Division reports on bills referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54.4. Legal Advisor, please. Chairman, thank you. Securities and Futures Amendment Bill 2015. Now, will members please refer to paper LS 74/14 to 15. The bill seeks to amend the Securities and Futures Ordinance in a way that the SFC, upon request from foreign jurisdictions, will be authorized to provide supervisory assistance to regulators outside Hong Kong. But this is subject to certain conditions, and all these details are set out in paragraphs 6 and 7 of the paper. Simply put, they include the nature of the request for assistance and the confidentiality undertaking. The second part of the bill is, since 2003, when it was brought into operation, there have been changes and there are improvements to be made to the ordinance. All the details are set out in paragraphs 7 and 8. In December 2014, there was a public consultation according to legislative brief, and in the conclusion, in June 2015, the majority of the respondents agreed with the proposal. The FA panel was also consulted on April the 13th, 2015, and members raised no objection to the bill. Chairman, it is a pretty long and complicated bill. It covers a broad range of issues. We are scrutinizing the details for members. I suggested a Bills Committee be formed. All right, Bills Committee. Mr. Christopher Zheng and Mr. Sin Chung Kai. Any member wishing to join the BC? All right, and there will be further circulation of invitation. Legal Advisor, please. Chairman, thank you. The second report is paper LS 75/14 to 15, Inland Revenue Amendment number 3, Bill 2015. The bill seeks to raise recommendations in 4 areas. The first one is to empower the person presiding at a hearing of an appeal to give directions on the provision of documents and information. Second, enable a party aggrieved by the board's decision to appeal directly to the court of first instance on a question of law, in place of the existing requirement for the board to state the case for CFI's opinion. Third, confer privileges and immunities on members of the board and parties to a hearing or persons appearing before the board. And finally, increase the maximum amount which the board may order an appellant to pay as cost of the board from the current $5,000 to $25,000. Chairman, on January the 6th, 2014, the FA panel was briefed on the details and members raised no objection to the proposals. According to the legislative brief, the Joint Liaison Committee on Taxation has no difficulty with the broad directions of the legislative proposals. we're still looking into the details of the bill, and I suggest the members set up a Bills Committee. Our Bills Committee, Mr. Sin Chung Kai, so proposes. Any member wishing to join? Again, there will be further circulation. Business for the Council meeting of July 8th, 2015. Earlier, the Secretariat notified members that on July 8th, the meeting will be suspended by 8, and there's going to be a CE's question time on the 9th, the 9:30 to 11, and meeting will resume 15 minutes afterwards, to be suspended at about 8 p.m. to be resumed on the 10th of July at 9 until about 1 o'clock. On Monday, we're going to resume the council meeting at 9, and it will end by about 10 p.m. The President will further consult members depending on the situation. Any questions? No? Questions? 22 questions, 6 oral, and 16 written. Bills, first and second reading. Chinese Permanent Cemeteries Amendment Bill 2015. Bills, resumption of debate on second reading committee stage and third reading. Arbitration Amendment Bill 2015, second special holiday, 3rd of September 2015 bill. Third, Inland Revenue Amendment Number 2 Bill 2015. Insurance Companies Amendment Bill 2014. And the fifth one is Inland Revenue Amendment Bill 2015. 6. Electoral Legislation Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2015. 7th, Electronic Health Record Sharing System Bill. Now, the Special Holiday Bill and the Inland Revenue Amendment Number 2 Bill 2015 will be taken ahead of the other bills. Any questions? But this is subject to the endorsement of the President. Dr. Kenneth Chen, Chairman, if I may, regarding the Special Holiday Bill, would there be a whole series of amendments to be moved? Well, at the moment, the Secretariat is handling the details to see whether they are within the scope of the bill. SG, please. I defer to Assistant SG3. Yes, please. Chairman, thank you. The deadline for amendment is Saturday, that is tomorrow. We have received some preliminary indications from members that there will be CSAs, although we have not received the CSAs themselves. We will refer them to the administration and to members and for the endorsement of the President. Well, we'd like to budget our time having regard to the details. All right, then. Government motion, proposed resolution under Section 7A of the Legal Aid Ordinance, Cap 91, to be moved by the Secretary for Home Affairs. Legal advisor, please. Chairman, thank you. We have submitted a report to members at 73. The purpose of the resolution is to amend the limits of financial resources of the legal aid applicants for ordinary legal aid scheme and supplementary legal aid scheme. The financial limit will be adjusted by 7.7% to reflect the consumer price index movement. As advised by the AJLS panel, the panel was briefed on the details on the 16th of February 2015. Members were generally supportive of the proposed adjustment. Subject to endorsement, it will go into effect on a date published in the Gazette. Any SC? No. So there will be this motion at the meeting on July the 9th. Members' motions. Motion on report on the visit of the delegation to Germany to be moved by Ms. Emily Lau, and also not forgetting June 4th incident to be moved by Mr. Sin Chung Kai. There is a checklist for the subsidiary legislation tabled before members, and just a reminder that for indication to speak, please notify the Secretariat no later than the 29th of June. The CE's Q&A from 9:30 to 11 a.m. That's next Thursday. The Chief Executive indicated that there wouldn't be any scope for the Q&A session. Any questions? Report of the Subcommittee on Road Traffic Ordinance Amendment of Schedule 10, Order 2015. Mr. Frankie Yik. Chairman, thank you. The purpose of the Road Traffic Ordinance Amendment of Schedule 10, Order 2015 is to increase the vehicle emission test fee under Schedule 10 of the RTO from the current flat rate of $310 to the 3 different levels for the 3 types of vehicles, namely $620. Order, please. Order, please. Meeting is in session. Mr. Frankie Yik. Namely $620, $680, and $730. The tests are conducted at the designated vehicle emission testing centers, which are all privately run. The SC held 3 meetings to scrutinize the order and met deputations. Members noted that the emission test fee has not been adjusted since 1998, and the testing centers found it difficult to continue with the test at the current fee level. On the other hand, some of the transport trades, not least the LPG taxi operators and owners, strongly objected to the increase because the high rate of increase would aggravate their operating costs. To strike a balance between the trades and the testing centers, the SC proposed that the fees be implemented in 2 phases. A consensus has been reached with the administration to implement 50% of the fee increase on August 1st, and the remaining 50% would come into operation 18 months after the first phase has been implemented. The administration would move amendments to the order, but the SC would not. The SC's detailed deliberations are set out in a report for members' information. Report of the Subcommittee on 3 pieces of subsidiary legislation relating to the OTC transactions. Mr. Sin Chung Kai. Chairman, the SC has completed its scrutiny of the 3 pieces of subsidiary legislation relating to OTC derivative transactions. This represents the first phase of OTC regulatory framework regarding mandatory reporting and record-keeping obligations, together with a general framework. The SC held 2 meetings inviting the sector representatives and the public to air their views. The SC was generally in support of the details. In the course of scrutiny, members held detailed discussions on issues like the basis and scope of exemption for the reporting rules, the rationale for the concession period and grace period for reporting entities, and reportable trading information. Members also expressed concerns over the implementation of the next phase of OTC regulatory framework. The SC had no objection to the 3 pieces of subsidiary legislation. Neither the administration nor the SC will move any amendments. All the details are set out in the report for members' information. Just a reminder that if members wish to speak or wish to move amendments, the deadline is July the 8th. For amendments, the notification is 30th of June. As of the 25th of June, there are 9 BCs that are in action. There are 4 under the 4 SE under the House and 9 under the panels. There are 5 that are on the waiting list. There are two AOP items. I understand that Mr. Ronnie Tong will appear at the council meeting for the last time. Will appear at the House Committee for the last time. I've urged Mr. Tong to stay on. He can stay on till the 1st of October as Vice Chairman of the House. And since this is his last meeting at the House Committee, on behalf of members, I'd like to thank Mr. Tong for his contribution over the past 3 years. You'd like to take the floor? Second, this is the last time the legal advisor appears at this House Committee meeting. Again, on behalf of the House Committee, I'd like to thank the legal advisor for the professional advice over the years. The floor is yours, Jimmy. Chairman, thank you. Thank you very much, members. Thank you. All right, then. No AOP items. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.